Welcome, everybody. Just to make a few notes, you all know we have this new technology here, so we may have a little bit of a learning curve today. Green is on, mine is right now. Good thing to turn it off when you're not using it. So just the big button in the middle. And would you please introduce yourself, whether it be the panel or the proponents, just so that we know who you are again. So I'd like to call the meeting to order, and this is for 365 Molliet. I had to get that right. Starting off, we'd just like to adopt the minutes from 703 Turner, which was our last meeting. So could somebody move to do so? You weren't, yeah. Dariush, and I'll second it. Okay, so please go ahead with your presentation.
Hello, thank you for having us. We're here to present for Connect Parksville at 365 Molliet. I'm Lori Aves from Christine Lintott Architects.
And I'm Peter Vandermotor from Lanark Landscape Architecture.
Okay. 365 Molliet Street is located in an area of transitional housing. Recently, it has evolved with residential projects providing more density and a shopping area providing amenities such as groceries. As a multi-unit home, Connect Communities fits the progressing neighborhood, aligning with the official community plan urban planning vision. The site's positioning within the development permit area for multi-unit and intensive residential further underscores its potential to serve as a transitional space, bridging the gap between varying residential densities. Our design approach for Connect Communities Parksville has been a collaborative journey, with every design decision informed by extensive consultations and feedback with the community, neighbors, and our client Connect Communities. The outcome of the development is a development that seamlessly blends healthcare and residential elements, ensuring that the residents do not just inhabit the spaces, but truly live in them. The overarching design philosophy is to create an environment that facilitates recovery while emphasizing the importance of community, belonging, and a sense of place. Having a universally accessible site was both extremely important and challenging due to the change in grade from the front of the site to the back. Since the coach house at the front receives new residents and guests, we leverage the elevator in this building to provide accessibility from the coach house down through the courtyard and to the residential building at the back. This allows people to traverse the site without using long, extensive ramps. And I'll just try to point to, so you come into the coach house, there's the elevator here, which will take you downstairs, and then you can follow the pathway here, so you don't have to do extensive ramps. Vehicle movement on the site is minimal, with parking located one story down from the street. This reduces the visibility of the parking on site, which aligns with the OCP objectives for screening parking. Similarly, the refuse storage located here is contained within a full enclosure for full screening and is also at that lower level with the parking. Mechanically, the project is leveraging geothermal heating, providing a highly efficient system that uses renewable resources. The mechanical equipment is located within the building attic spaces, improving both the site aesthetics and reducing noise disruption that would be experienced with air source heat pumps. it's going to suddenly go too far. So there is a diagram of the circulation, the vehicle movement shown in yellow, and this dashed line here is our geothermal field. And you can see in the site section that grade change that we were referencing. As you move, the development envisions two distinct structures, each serving a specific purpose, yet harmoniously integrated within the site's landscape. As you move from the front to the back of the site, you move from public to semi-public to private space. The occupant amenity spaces located in the coach house at the front of the site, it's this guy here, serves to provide opportunities for occupants to create community with the neighbors and to activate life on the street. Visual corridors into the site further encourage a feeling of community and connection for both occupants and neighbors.
In terms of site improvements, the front yard and project entry feature a vibrant native planting palette that provides seasonal interest for residents and passersby. The entry planting encloses an informal gathering area, which is right here, which is perched above the adjacent streetscape, much like a front porch, offering residents a view out to the neighborhood. The design also includes a number of improvements to the right-of-way, including new street trees and a new sidewalk, which will enhance overall pedestrian connectivity for the streetscape.
As you move towards the resident building located at the back of the site, you come to a central courtyard space centered around an existing cedar tree located here. Both the coach house and resident buildings have decks and patios flanking this courtyard. Both buildings are highly porous around the courtyard, breaking down the barrier between interior and exterior. This space is meant to be an active gathering space for the occupants, both indoors and outdoors.
The patio spaces have been designed with flexibility in mind and are sized to comfortably accommodate both larger social gatherings as well as quieter, more intimate interactions. Generous planting areas provide a backdrop for these gathering spaces, offering visual interest while providing shade and creating a sense of enclosure and privacy. The design also features a series of naturally derived furnishings situated in and around the courtyard. These furnishings, such as stone seat plinths and seat logs, which seat logs are here, and then the plinths kind of dot within the patio areas. They bring a sense of warmth and comfort to the gathering spaces while also strengthening the site's connection to nature. To the west of the parking area, over here, is located the first of two rain gardens, which act as pieces of the larger integrated stormwater management system that was designed to align with sustainability goals and objectives outlined in Parksville's OCP. Other stormwater features on site include rock pits, control tanks, absorbent landscape areas, and permeable pavers, all working together to promote infiltration and/or reduce runoff. Which way?
It's down.
Down. As we move further west, behind the resident building is the most private and contemplative space on site. Here we have an existing forested area consisting of mature trees and native understory plant communities, the majority of which are to be protected in place. The site design here introduces a meandering path, additional native plantings, and seating and gathering areas to allow residents to connect with nature, which can greatly contribute to the healing process and overall well-being of individuals recovering from brain injuries.
The buildings themselves are meant to be quiet, simple forms, distilled down to the fundamental form of house. Connect Communities facilitates recovery from brain injury in an environment that feels like home. The materials used on the exterior have a residential feel, with a focus on natural wood being used in spaces inhabited by occupants such as main entry, decks, and patios. The scale of the buildings was designed to be a two-story expression, responding to the location of the site between larger multifamily projects and the nearby single-family neighborhoods, aligning with OCP objectives. Along the building sides, the standing seam siding is broken up with a vertical cladding in a regular rhythm. Enhancement of the experience for the occupants informed all decisions. The footprint of the building was designed to maximize the occupants' connection to daylight and views. The spaces between the buildings inform the project design as much as the interior program did. The intention was to create elegant, timeless, and enduring forms that integrate into the landscape, inviting occupants to explore and enjoy the entire site rather than just the buildings. Feeding on a human's need for connection to nature, the landscape design was developed in tandem with the building design, using native plants to solidify the occupants' connection to their environment.
The plant selection and layout is focused on establishing native plant communities that celebrate the site's environmental history while strengthening ecological resiliency and fostering a sense of health and healing. Natural organic plant arrangements are prominently featured throughout the site, while more formal linear layouts help frame the building and site edges. Plants have been chosen and located according to the site's microclimate conditions. It's important to note that all newly planted areas are to be irrigated by means of an efficient automatic irrigation system that will promote plant establishment while conserving water.
The Connect Communities Home provides a holistic, home-centric model for brain injury recovery in a project that bridges the gap between the larger structures to the south and east and the single-family zones to the north and west. The project provides environmental stewardship through the use of renewable resources, the exclusion of fossil fuels, on-site stormwater management, and the native approach to landscaping. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, we look forward to them.
Okay, we usually do a round of comments and maybe a second chance for things you forgot. So I think we'll start with that. Maybe some questions will come out in that commentary. So Maureen, could I get you to start? Yeah.
I am,
Your mic, yeah.
stuff here. There, now you can hear me like you could. My name is Maureen Pilcher. I'm a retired land use consultant, and I am the survivor of a brain injury. So this has been very interesting for me to look at this. So I do have some questions, and I'm sorry because most of them probably won't necessarily deal with the aesthetics of the property, but I just need to get clear on some of them if you don't mind. First off, you talked about this being healthcare for those who have suffered from brain injury. Are these patients, shall I call them patients, or the residents of this building? Will they be able to move around? Will they be able to go out into the community? Are these people with huge emotional needs, or are they intending on being people who will integrate into the community and into society?
Yeah, they are intended to be integrating back into society. So part of the model is helping them learn how to live on their own again.
Okay.
And having amenities like the grocery right across the street
Right.
will allow them to do some of those
Right.
tasks on their own.
So it's to so are these people mostly able or ready to go back into society, or because having a brain injury can definitely leave you with a lot of deficits,
Mhm.
not only physical deficits, but also deficits in your emotional needs. And I'm wondering if they have a worker that would go out with them, or how that would work for them in the community. And I know these aren't necessarily questions that you can answer for me, but it might be something that you would want to make sure that people in the community are aware of, because there can be issues.
Absolutely,
And,
yeah,
and I wouldn't want that to be happening in that area, because it's a very dense area at this point in time.
for sure.
Health and healing. How many people did you say that they would be living here?
It's 10 per house and we have 4 houses.
Okay, so 40 people.
Oh, sorry.
7 per house.
7 per house. I've
So
been
28
corrected.
units total, each for one person. Okay, will these people have cars?
No,
No
most,
cars?
not none, but for the most part, they will not have cars. Yeah.
Okay. Your parking area is limited,
Mhm.
and your 3 accessible parking stalls are not necessarily easily accessed from someone with a side opening van. You've got them right up against the gardens. And if you have a side opening van to get your wheelchair in, you're going to be taking that side opening van into your garden right beside. So personally, I would prefer to see each one of those, each one of your disabled parking spaces open into your garden. And so that's not necessarily a good idea. And you might want to make them a bit longer. I have an accessible van that opens to the back. So I can
Okay.
drive my wheelchair into the back. But when I open my wheelchair into the drive aisle, I'm stopping people from driving past
Right.
in the drive aisle. So if you can make I know that you've probably made them the 19 by 9 or whatever it is that they need to be, but it might be worth your while to move the curb stop up just a little bit further on those 3 spots, wherever you choose to put them.
Yeah, that's excellent feedback. Thank you.
And it's also the first parking space that you have there. Very difficult to turn a van that quickly off the street into that parking space, leaving you enough room on either side. You got to remember that people have to, not only do you need the side on the side opening van, but you need room on the other side I sit in the front of my van.
Okay.
So my wheelchair is in the back, but I then need enough room to open my door fully so that I can get out of my van.
Okay,
There's the disabled parking spaces need to be larger.
okay.
If you feel that there's going to be people here who either live here or visit often with that concern. And that, I really like it. I like the meandering paths. I like the fact that you can get through there without any problems, without having to go down a ramp that is too steep, because it is an area of changing grades. The only other thing, I thought maybe that the elevator that you've got in there, does it open on both sides?
No, it's just on the one
On
side.
the one side?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't need to go into the building that way.
That's what, yeah.
Okay, I get it. All right, other than that, I think it's great. Thank you very much.
Thank
Those
you.
are all my questions.
My name's Christine Mazouk. Thank you for this. And I'm speaking as a layperson, but it's one of the nicest designs I've seen, that we've seen over the last while. It has interest, it has character, it has timelessness. Yeah, I just think I think it's lovely. It's different, it speaks to all those things. And I absolutely love the landscape plan. I love that we're seeing native plants almost exclusively in there. I am so sick and tired of the ubiquitous stuff that goes in everywhere, and there's no need for it. Sorry. Soapbox.
That's how you feel, Christine.
I love it. I think it's lovely. I was having trouble opening it at home from my home computer, and I kept thinking, oh man, I don't know how this looks. And then I came in and I see it here, and it's really lovely.
Thank you.
I just think it's beautiful, and that's just from a layperson standpoint. So thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Dariush Firuzli, architect. First, I wanted to congratulate these very elegant, good projects as you guys bring it up. I have a few questions for you and few minor concerns. One is, the question is what is step code you are applying for this project? Is this a step 3, 4, or passive housing, or?
That's a complicated question.
You want to come up, Robin? So Robin has been on the design of this from the very beginning, so he is a wealth of knowledge.
Hi, yeah. My name is Robin. So step code for this project is a bit of an interesting one because of its code classification of a B2 building, necessitating a very intensive mechanical system, specifically air handling system. And so it is being built to the same standards of step 4 or greater. So all of our assemblies, our high efficiency heat pumps, and our air tightness, if it was a group C building, as per step code, we'll be seeing like a step 4 or maybe a net zero. The project's currently in its energy modeling. It's being currently energy modeled at this point.
Thank you. Yeah, the reason I ask, because one thing I had a concern is the opening of the window sizes. they are very limited. So you have beautiful outside gardens but limited access. The courtyard you have in the front, the end of the units, they are very nicely connected, but you have a backyard, which is very beautiful and nice, but they have a very small windows looking into. So it looks like almost you don't want people inside the building to connect it. You want to be private for people outside. So that's one of the concern I have. And the second one, which is again is more preferences, end of the buildings is more industrial look. The ones they don't have any overhang canopy, the ones it just cut off. So it's very elegant, very nice building, but is a little bit not on residential side as should be. So maybe having a little bit canopy there helps. I don't know, but this is I'm not concerned. I'm not proposing you to do change, but I just asking to look at them.
That's great. Thank you.
Well,
Hi, so I'm Tony Horler. I'm a retired structural engineer. Some of you might recall I worked in Victoria with Graham and Murray and Stantec and Herald Engineering up here. And just wanted to say this is as nice as a project as I think we've seen come through here in the 5 or 6 years I've been on design panels. So compliments. You've reflected architecture from across the street with sloped roofs. You've used the site beautifully, in my opinion. I really like the layout of the residential building with that courtyard behind it. And I don't really have a lot to critique with what you've done. I'm going to have one little comment though, and that is the end of the coach house. As per what Dariush has said, that's a primary view of your building from the street. And when I look beyond it, I see the cedar siding where you are framed with that metal siding. I just wondered if the half-height cedar siding on the north side of the building could wrap around and break that up, because that's an awful dark elevation to see from Molyet. And we don't ever mean to be prescriptive, but I think I would recommend that you review that one elevation. I think Dariush is right. It's a very elegant solution with metal siding. It's durable and it's actually a nice profile. But that particular view is just dark. And so that's really my my one and only comment about the project. Otherwise, I think it's that particular view that you're showing right there, it just shows what a wonderfully planted, friendly space that it is. So, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a project go around that fast. Does anybody have anything to say? Second go around type of thing? Yeah.
That in itself. I just want to make sure that the parking is enough because you're going to be having, hopefully we're going to be having physiotherapists and others coming, visitors, et cetera, et cetera. Will there also be medical I guess what I want to say is Connect Communities also has the opportunity to have rehab at this location under the zoning without it necessarily being a brain injury society. So they have that opportunity to change the use. And I think at this point in time, that if they have intended, and I guess I want to know, would that not be a possibility that they change the use of this building in the future for rehabilitation or drug and rehabilitation?
Accessory to the main use as a residential care facility.
Okay.
So I don't think it would outside clients.
That's what I'm concerned with, is that there will not be outside clients coming as well.
I don't think the facility that is it is going to.
Yes, I'm aware.
Sorry. I don't anticipate that it'll just be for clients on the site that.
Okay.
Rehabilitation services and residential care, so just.
On site, living on site. So they won't be bringing people into the gym for physiotherapy from other areas?
It's possible, but I don't think there could be. Permitted.
That-
To bring in.
Right. Is it's, I mean, you've indicated 28 units times 4. So
So
sorry,
7 times 4, 28
Seven.
total.
28 in total. It's a big gym and a big area for 28 units. I would, anyway, that's fine. Like, you can let me know about the zoning. I'll check into that part.
I'll have to look into connecting with these and see.
Yeah, I did. I know that they do provide rehabilitation, drug rehabilitation, alcohol rehabilitation, as well as this brain injury society that they have connected with, which is wonderful. And the site is great. That's all I'm supposed to comment on, actually. But I do really like the way, it's a really tight site and you've done a really good job.
Thank you.
Just one more thing, I think is also you guys did a very good job on basically, this is a transition from the multifamily to the single family. That's a very good job with the, the form of the building and all the characters is good job.
Okay, so we usually try to sum up our recommendations from that, which are, as you can see, are quite minimal. I think the first one that was raised was the quantity and the accessibility of your parking. So regarding the kinds of vehicles and the number of stalls. And in our guidelines, the best one I can come up with that is just under 4A, which is accessibility features should be integrated into the overall design. And I think that's a generalized statement, but we'll put those specific references of number of stalls and adequacy. I think we made a comment about the kind of the use of one material. We do actually have an architectural design and character recommendation that building design should generally avoid large expanses of any one material. I zeroed in on that one elevation. And maybe that could just be reviewed without getting too prescriptive about it. So that would be a 4C. And I guess our third one was, and I do agree with Dariush that maybe the window size could be reviewed. So it's kind of an architectural design and character thing, but it is also occupant item of, desirability to have more window space. I don't know if this kind of facility is prescriptive about window sizes and how much is seen, but that would be a 1A. And to be honest with you, I think that's all we've got for you. Very nice. So from a recommendation point of view, I think we would recommend that your development application be approved with these few conditions to recommend back to you. And I think I will need a motion to that effect from somebody, from Dariush. Christina second, sorry, Maureen. And otherwise, I think we could move to adjourn the shortest meeting I can ever remember here. Maureen, can I get your name on the record? Move to adjourn? All right. And a
Thank you.
seconder, Christina. Thanks. Appreciate it.